Howdy, folks. Dr. Freedom here with the Times of Dr. News. News from in and around the universe that may or may not make you go, wow, how many ways can you twist a headline? Just amazing, weird stuff, because as you all know, this week they released the podcast. You know, David Tennant does a podcast with Jodie Whittaker. Next week, apparently, he's going to be with Sir Ian McKellen. That one's going to be very interesting also to hear. But the thing is, you had all these things that were said during this podcast that were suddenly twisted into so much stupid crap. It just made me beyond, like, you got I'll show you here in a minute, but I just wanted to warn you. That's what a group of these articles are. I put them up here just to show you how a simple quote can be twisted into something really, really dumb and made to sound like, you know, something that it's not. Like, just to give you an example, one, she was talking to somebody and they told her that they were hoping for Ben Whishaw, and she said, you still might get Ben Whishaw someday, blah, blah, blah. Then now they're saying, making it look like she's going. You know, she's already saying she's going to, you know, basically out of there. At least that's the vibe that they're trying to put out as a clickbait headline. And it's just a common thing. And it just makes me die laughing, you know, like you got people who are still ranting, raving, and screaming like their testicles have been stolen, and, you know, they're trying to chase down the road runner or whoever grabbed them off their, you know, body. But oh yeah, don't worry. If you start hearing any beeping and all, it's just because I finally had to cave in, go buy a new tab. Well, I had to go cave in and get a new phone while I was there. I decided to get a new tablet, and I'm still getting all the notification settings set the right way so they don't go ding dong, ding dong, ding dong all the time during the cat. So, oh well. So let's just go right into it, because I know some people are a little impatient. Listen to that Dr. Freedom guy. He's going on and on again like a crazy old fart. All right. So right off the bat, somebody, I'll leave a link for you, has put up the podcast, and they're all on this channel right here. So if you want to go listen to them without fiddling around with iTunes, here you go. Like I said, me and iTunes have never gotten along. Matter of fact, you can thank iTunes for the fact that I now and will always have Samsung telephones. David Tennant has a podcast with Jodie Whittaker. I sat down and listened to this, and like I've told you before, when you've listened to Jodie before, she basically doesn't really have any filter. She's very, very open, very honest, and that's what I do appreciate her, you know, about this person, about her in general. And I like people who are open, honest, and straight to the point. And that's what she pretty much is here with David Tennant. And I hope you all enjoy this. I'm going to send you the link. It'll be in the description box as usual. Okay, over here, Titan Merchandise is launching a new Doctor Who merchandise figure line. Okay, they expanded the line of Doctor Who Titans with a 3-inch Titan twin figure pack. It'll feature a 3-inch figure of the 13th Doctor, along with a sonic screwdriver accessory and a 3-inch figure of the TARDIS. The TARDIS. And U.S. and Canadian customers can now pre-order the figures from Entertainment Earth, and the figures will be available at Hot Topic, apparently, as well. So if you hang out at those places, there you go. Or if you want to go online, there you go. Okay, Tosin Cole struggled to film the Rosa racism scenes. It was very tough. And I can't blame him, because it's a whole different planet from the way we were back then. You know, in general, I'm talking, you know, we're talking 60 years ago or so, a little bit more than that, back in La La Land, in a place that, you know, people still struggle to, you know, believe actually existed, you know, on this planet. It's like, it sounds like Earth, you know, one of the multiple dimension things from DC Universe. It really does. Okay, Daleks come to Twitch for a 6-day marathon. Apparently, from the 17th of February till the 22nd of February, Doctor Who fans will be able to watch 12 adventures featuring the Daleks, from 63's The Daleks to 88's Remembrance of the Daleks, as well as 1983's 20th anniversary story, The Five Doctors, while chatting live to thousands of other viewers around the world on Twitch. Now, the special screening follows Twitch's successful classic Doctor Who marathon that ran for 7 weeks back in May of 2018. And it goes on from there. You can find the full episode listing with the UK and US screening times in their watch section over here on this page. All right, here you go. So there you go if you're into that thing. All right. Now, here we go. Let's start into this whole thing. They listed this one. I can't remember if this is the one that says it's got spoilers, because guess what? It doesn't. So if you want to, also, I love the fact production began on January 21st. It didn't. It started actually a wee bit before that. They were down in South Africa before that, I believe. So kind of you're running a little late on that in general as well. So, but Chibnall said, we're off again. Well, we never actually stopped, as Jodie Whittaker's doctor and friends have been winning the hearts of families across the nation this autumn, except for grumpy old bitches. We've been busy with a whole new set of action-packed adventures for the 13th Doctor. And the Doctor's Companions, of course, will be back. We already knew that. And, of course, the 2020 thing. So this one, like I said, based off that podcast, it really doesn't tell you much. And like I said, this is how shit happens online these days. It's like, I remember, the Radio Times still does this, where they get one podcast like David Tennant's. It'll be split into 30 different articles for each individual line. And it's like, oh. Jodie Whittaker quizzes David Tennant on his Doctor Who accent and reveals she assumed her doctor would be posh. She goes, there's just something about my accent that I presumed they wouldn't want. Now, she goes into this on the podcast that she felt they were going to make her try to do another accent like they did with David Tennant and all that. And it turns out, no, they wanted her to do her own accent, and that's the way it was. Okay. So, and of course, she asked David about this, but once again, listen to the podcast. That's covered, all right? Jodie Whittaker's doctor was told to change her look. So once again, as I said right here, she made the comments to David Tennant, who played the 10th Doctor in his new podcast. She said, I wouldn't change it for the world. There are a lot of episodes where you're squinting, and I think if I didn't have that frown line, you wouldn't know what it was. So they're trying to say she had to fill in a line on her forehead, and she goes, I got asked to have my stash waxed, and I didn't know I had one. So, then like I said, go back to the podcast. That's covered in there. But once again, I said I put this cluster of articles in here just to show you how different. Oh, here it is. Season 12 spoilers. And it's like, there's no spoilers in the article. There's not one. And here it is where she reveals replacement twist. You still might. And what it was, she was trying to explain to this person that she's only going to be here for a certain amount of time. And that with Doctor Who, it's always changing. And that's what she was trying to say. And they're trying to make it sound like she's on her way out. I bet there's a whole lot of guys right now making 100 videos just based off this one article. Yeah, she's on her way out. We called it. Oh, goodness gracious. So, once again, thank you, Express. Now I've just saved you from wasting a minute of your life. There's no spoilers in this article. All right. But let's get to some other stuff. Good Omens launches worldwide on Amazon Prime on May 31st. And Benedict Cumberbatch apparently has been cast as Satan. Now, the reason we're going to this course because Dave Tennant's involved with this, amongst other things. And this was based off a 1990 fantasy novel by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Or is it Gaiman? I can't remember. So, but as stated, if you go down here a bit, they go into the fact that Cumberbatch has been thinking, and he's apparently Francis McDormand's been announced as God in this thing. And it sounds like to me like it's just going to be a fun romp, into that whole background. So, bam, here you go. All right, moving forward. Pearl Mackie stars in the new M.R. James audio play Adaptations. Apparently, she's going to star in The Conception of Terror, tales inspired by M.R. James, exclusive from Amazon. So, nice to see, Pearl's gone on to get some work, after Doctor Who and all that. She's been doing a lot of stage stuff. Plus, like I said, we met her here at Chicago TARDIS just a few months ago. Absolutely lovely, nice person. Didn't. She was fun to have a brief chat with. But, we saw her in and around the con. That's what I loved about Chicago TARDIS was the fact that you saw people walking around all over the place, the guests and all that. That's why I hope they get Capaldi. And so it was just a fun time. Okay. So once again, please, it's okay to have an opinion about something, but when you run around and you turn it into the point you're starting to preach, like, this truth that everybody hates something, when you know that that's kind of a generalization, isn't it? Plus the fact that, by the way, I forgot to also include, and this was something that got to mention, that apparently after the final BARB ratings have come in, with the plus 28s and all that, Resolution is now the second most watched program on New Year's Day Only program that came in ahead of it on BBC was Luther. Now everybody was running around jumping, going, the ratings were the lowest ever, Dr. Freedom. Oh, sounding like freaking Mickey Mouse on acid. All right. And it's like, yeah, but look at where it placed. If I remember right, it was like 4th originally before all that was added in. So everybody was doing like shit. And hell, even the Queen was down how many millions on, her Christmas Day speech. And it's like, but you have a bunch of people out there who refuse to accept change, will not ever accept the fact that, there could be a woman doctor, and they're going to hide it underneath some great subterfuge that in service to the fans that they're doing this. And the thing is this. People are like, why are you so thing? Series 11 sucked. And I'm like, I've seen far worse. I really have. And all I can tell you is this. I stand with the Doctor. I always have and always will. I was one of the guys who was standing here with Peter Capaldi when the ratings were dropping to the goddamn floor. Where the hell were all these guys when that was going on? Where was the Capaldi has to go campaign? See what I mean? Yet they're basing something off a public website poll when the ratings tell you maybe there's something to this. Well, guys, enough ranting, raving, and carrying on. I'll see you all tomorrow or maybe some other day. Like I said, news isn't coming in that, as fast and furious as it would be normally. Hopefully with, filming going on, we'll get some more. But until then, please take care of yourselves. Have a good one. See you on the flip side. Dr. Freedom out, babies.